A very warm, springy welcome to Thought for the Week this week. It is just about a week before Mother's Day. Mother's Day is next Sunday here in the UK. And it's a very strange time, I think, for lots of people. For those of you who have amazing mothers who you have adored and have adored you all your life, then I wish you an extremely, extremely gorgeous, lovely, loving and warm Mother's Day. I hope that you have a fantastic day. But there are many people in the world, or certainly in the UK, because I know that the US celebrates at a different time to us, as do other people. It's a very tricky time. It can bring up, if you have loved your mother, it can bring up the pain of your mother not being around anymore. If you've never met your mother because you've been adopted, then that can also prove to be very, very difficult. And if you have had a very, very tumultuous, painful and difficult relationship with your mother, that can also be extremely hard. Now, my mother and I had a very odd relationship. They say that you can sort of blame your mum for lots of things. I'm not going to play a blame game with my mother, but I'm just going to say that actually I think that she was very well equipped. She didn't have a very good emotional toolbox, and she didn't really know what a real mother should be. And she wasn't really very able or capable of change and growth and development. And it's really, really sad because I feel that my mother's no longer with me. In some weird ways, I do miss her. I do miss her because I think she was so reliant on me for so many things, and that I kind of sort of miss the caring aspect of me caring for her. But she was so devoid in everything else when it came to me, and she was very damaging. So I'm much, much happier with her not being around. And I know that's a very harsh thing to say, but it's true. I'm a much better person. I'm a much freer person. And I'm a much more me person than I was, or than in the entire time that she was alive for me. I mean, I think I was probably about 55, 56 when she died. This is 56 when she died, and I'm going to be 60 this year. So I have had the best year without my mum being around this last year, and I do miss her. Like I said, sometimes I feel like I just want to pick up the phone and say, hey mum, how are you doing? What are you up to? But most of the time, do you know what? It's a massive relief that she's not here, because she was a very negative force in my life. And I really feel for any of you who've had a mother who has been very, very difficult to manage, very difficult to handle, unloving, unkind, ruthless, selfish, narcissistic, somebody who's only really interested in themselves. And my mother was all of those things. And, you know, as I said, I don't blame her, because I don't think she had a particularly good upbringing. I don't think she had a very loving family at all. They were very dysfunctional and, in fact, damaging, I would say. And sadly, she wasn't, like I said, she didn't have the emotional toolkit to be able to fix that or change that and move on from that and learn from it and learn not to be like that. It's taken me a very long time, and it's been a very rocky road for me as a mum. I've got 3 gorgeous children, to not only mother my mother and take care of my mum, but also to be the best mum I could be for my children through thick and thin, in really bad times and in the better times, and to try and teach them and give them the fortitude and the strength and courage to actually be very comfortable in their own skin, and also to just be who they are and to rejoice in that. And I think that's a really key element about being a mum. I think one of the most important factors for me as a mother is to instill confidence and self-worth in my own children, and to make them feel so kind of confident and able to stride out into the world, that they have the courage and the kind of the drive and the will to do things and to stand up on their own and to be counted and to be the best version of the person that they are, that they can be. And like I said, you know, confidence is really key to that. And because my mother was a narcissist and a self-centered woman who didn't have any compassion or empathy or understanding for anybody else other than herself, and was a go-getter and was very devoid of emotional kind of an emotional palate. It was really, really tough growing up. And because I didn't meet my mother's expectations of what she thought was important and what mattered in a girl, in a woman, and in a young girl when I was young, which was to be a size 0 or to be like a size 8 in UK sizes, size 0, so, you know, to be tiny, skinny, petite, beautiful, to be somebody who was going to be a kind of honey trap for a man who had lots of money and could take care of me and look after me, and would be socially mobile, upwardly socially mobile, asset to me. And that was really the most important thing to her. And the reason that it was the most important thing to my mother was because she wasn't very bright. She left school at 14. She didn't really understand the way the world worked, or the way the world works. She wasn't very confident, I suppose, in her intellect at all, because she didn't really possess one. And this might be sounding very harsh, but, you know, she really didn't. And so she was absolutely, I mean, her biggest asset was her beauty. She was so beautiful, and she was so just like the epitome of kind of what a beautiful woman should look like. And she had long legs, she was very slim, she had a beautiful English rose kind of face, and I was never gonna live up to her expectations. She wanted me to be a trophy daughter that she could just sort of, you know, show off at events, and that I would be a yes sir, no sir, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir kind of a woman or girl. And I'm not like that. I have a brain, I have my own mind, I'm self-determining, and I'm not interested in being like that. And I never have been. Yes, it would have been nice to have been, you know, a bit slimmer and a bit more kind of normal when I was growing up. But at the end of the day, I am who I am, and that all of the stuff I've been through has made me who I am as well. So does it really matter? I don't think so. And it's just a shame that I didn't have a loving mum. You know, my mother never told me she loved me. She didn't tell me she loved me, actually. She told me once, and that was when I was about 30. And we were in Vietnam. And she was telling me off about something, and about being overweight, about being fat. And she said, you know, I'm only telling it to you for your own good. I'm only telling you that, you know, you're going to die young and that you're unattractive for your own good, because, you know, I love you. So it was that kind of I love you, not a, oh, come here, let me give you a cuddle. You know, I absolutely adore you. I really love you. No. It was a very, it was almost like putting a sort of Band-Aid or a sticky plaster on a really awful criticism. So it didn't really, I remember it so vividly. And I said to my mother, do you know, I'm 30 and it's taken you 30 years to tell me that you love me. And actually, that's really not okay. And how can you give birth to a daughter? How can you give birth to a child and not love them, not tell them that you love them, not give them cuddles, not actually tell them that you love them? How can you do that? How can you get away with that in your life? I mean, it's just, for me, it's terrible. I have suffered from that. My own children have suffered from that as well, because I find it very hard to say that I love my children. I will tell them in text. I will sometimes give them a cuddle and maybe tell them that I love them. And I'm always showing them that I love them in the things that I do. But I should tell them that I love them more, because sometimes I go and see my children and I'll give them a hug, or I might even not even give them a hug. And I'll say something like, well, I hope you enjoy the banana cake that I made you. I hope you like it, because you know I made it with lots of love. And then I'll drive away. And I think, I didn't hold my daughter or my son or my other son or whatever. I've got 3 children. I didn't hold them and tell them how much I love them. And I should do that more. I don't want to be like my mum. I want to be the opposite of my mum. So there you go. That was a bit of a therapy session, but with Mother's Day literally on the horizon, just around the corner here in the UK, I just wanted to say that I'm with you on all of you who've had tricky relationships with your mothers. And you know, sometimes we can be daughters from another mother, and not from our own actual blood mother, but from somebody that we look up to, that we care about, that we love more perhaps than we love our own mother, because they give us that all that stuff that we need in life to make us healthy, to make us good, viable adults when it comes to our own relationships, and just to make us feel self-worth, and feel that there is somebody there who nurtures us and takes care of us and who loves us. And I've had 1 or 2 people like that in my life, and that sort of comes from best friends, best girlfriends, but also I've had a couple of really gorgeous older sort of mentors, older men, sort of male mentors in my life who I absolutely adore, and I adored when I was little and when I was young, and have grown up and absolutely still adore. So I've been very fortunate in that respect. But yeah, when it comes to Mother's Day, I'll be seeing 2 of my children because the other one's away at uni, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them, and we've got some nice things planned for next Sunday. But as I said, if you are alone, or if you miss your mother desperately because you loved her very much, or if you didn't ever meet your mum, or if you had a terrible relationship with your mum, I just want you to know that I'm there for you. I'm here. And yeah, it's a difficult time for many of us. So lots and lots and lots of love. I think the most fundamental and important thing to do on Mother's Day is to just love yourself, really. And yes, show your love and your gratitude to your own maternal persuasion, your mum, your friend, or whatever it might be. And if you've got children, then yes, take the love from your children and give it back in abundance. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, lots and lots of love from me, and have a very good week. And yeah, happy Mother's Day to all of those out there who celebrate, and to all of those who want to forget about it. Just, I understand. Anyway, lots and lots of love. Bye-bye.